Hi everyone, my name is Brittany and today I'm going to talk to you about what leadership means to me. I chose four words I felt that made a big part in my own leadership, and four words I definitely believe leadership is: personality, power, attitude, and influence. I think the word leadership is being a leader of a group and not abusing your powers as a leader. I think leadership is also having good influence among other people and not only taking advantage of other people's opinions and words, but taking them into consideration into bettering whatever you're planning on doing. And I think that being a leader is just being there for other people. So there's one quote in the text on page 9, chapter 1, that I really liked, and it was, "The concept of power is related to leadership because it is part of the influence process." And I talked about leadership being one of my I talked about influence being one of my key words in leadership, because just being able to be there for others is a big part of being a leader, in my opinion. And I've had situations where people disagree with me, but even though I think differently, I still want to have a good attitude about it, and I still want to be a good influence to them, and I want them to know that I'm willing to change and I'm willing to work around them. And that's also what I think leadership is. Another really good quote I found was talking about personality. And earlier I also talked about how personality is one of my key points in what leadership means. On page 8, chapter 1, it says, "In addition to communication behaviors," after it's done talking about what those qualities are in a leader, "researchers have found that personality plays a role in leadership emergence." And I found that was really interesting because I was on a basketball team growing up, and I had a captain who was the leader of the team, and you could consider me a follower at that time. But she had a horrible personality, and it was hard for me to find respect in her. So just personality, it does play a huge role in leadership, because nobody wants to follow somebody who is disrespectful and rude and not willing to consider their feelings. And that's actually one of the concepts I found in the reading, was power, and how power is a big role in leadership. And one thing that the text didn't talk about was how people can abuse their power in leadership. One of the examples I found was how we can use Obama, for example, right now, and how just recently I read an article about how a guy was, or somewhere in the government, someone was trying to find a loophole to sue him for overusing his rights as a president. And I found that really interesting, because I look up to him as a leader because he's my president. I did vote for him at one time. So that was one question that I had, was, can even good people abuse their leadership power? And that's something that I know the text did not bring up. Another question that I wrote down was, does everybody have the potential to be a leader? Regarding if you're an extrovert or you're an introvert or whatever you may consider yourself to be, if you don't have those personality traits that people would expect in a leader, but you have that mentality that you want to work on it, you want to be a leader, can those people still be considered leaders? Do leaders have to be ahead of a group or ahead of an organization? I believe that if you're a big part of something and you're making a difference in people's lives, whether that's just helping homeless people get off the streets, or being present in the classroom and helping students through their work, anything that you help other people out with and that you make a change in, you're a leader. So do you have to have a particular personality to be a good leader? And that was my second question. Thank you for listening to what I think leadership means to me. Thank you.